Act the 2nd, Chapter the 4th, Winter is Coming. In which lava transcends the White Knight's shattered heart. The Lost One. Snow had begun to fall. Trudging through the shadowy underworld, the weary soul felt the first of the flakes land upon the tip of his nose. He licked it off with his small pink tongue, so parched that he was willing to slake his thirst from the most insignificant sources. It tasted bitter and acrid. Was this what snow was supposed to be like? His gaze roved the upper reaches, vainly trying to pierce a misty veil. He was underground, and yet, small wispy flakes continued to flutter down from above. He decided that he hated caves. They had been traveling for what seemed days, eternally marching in this one direction, only deviating when a mighty stone pillar loomed out of the dark mists. The stone they marched upon was cold and wet, here and there splattered with sickly phosphorescent mosses. He did not avoid stepping on these, though they left an unpleasant burn on his hoofs. He did not mind the pain. It was the only thing keeping him from shattering, the one anchor to normality he had left, the single sensation that cemented the fact into his brain: I am here. He was not floating away on the heavenly wind, or burning in the fires of the core, or even dissolving into the earth and rocks and trees. He was very much a dead pony, but the pain reminded him they still existed. His soul still thrummed within his chest, alongside his cold, silent heart that was comfort enough to press forward, following the strange beast that led him ever onwards. "Where are we going?" he asked his guide. His words felt thick and slurred, and they dragged on his throat like sandpaper as he rasped them out. The hulking figure didn't even turn around to seek an audience with the warden. And that would be she who holds dominion over this plane. All souls must pass through Tartarus to reach their final destination as she judges them, be it further down to the lower depths, another cycle of rebirth, or to the stars, where their fate is unknown even to me. Arizodal chuckled darkly, and for good reason. The unicorn slogged on, head drooping low. Oh! He let the sounds of conversation fade away into the ebon emptiness, letting himself be absorbed by the sound of hooves and claws scratching against stone and moss. The faint little spark of heat inside him gave off the weak shiver. Scowling, he blinked and let the dim glow of his magic sputter and die. He didn't bother to try reigniting it, the moss shed enough light to see by. Soon they came to a wall, looming out of the mists with the sudden presence that only something large and stealthy can deliver. There was a jagged gash running up from the bottom, wide enough for Arizodal to squeeze into with little difficulty. The guide vanished into the gloom of the passage. He stood on the threshold, unsure, a hoof nervously scratched at the ground. Arizodal's head popped back out. "Come, little pony, we're not far now." It vanished again, trailing an echo behind it. "Mind your steps. To fall from here and not even your princess would dare venture down after your scrawny soul." The unicorn peered into the gap beneath the stone. It was narrow, with rough walls that were also stained here and there with luminescent growth, which lit up the faint mist that seemed to permeate everything down here. He scoffed at himself for being so cowardly. He hated feeling weak. The passage swallowed him whole as he stepped inside, but he could not resist a look back to the vast cavern of stone trees. For a split second, he could have sworn he'd seen a faint streak of something, ducking out of view. Nothing more than a flash of scarlet and fire in the dark. His mind grasped at straws. That thing, whatever it had been, struck him as uncomfortably familiar, on the very tip of his tongue. He made a step forward, squinting in the half-light. "Hurry it up!" came the receding roar of the blue beast. He shook his head irritatedly, then spun about and cantered in after. The narrow channel through the rock had led them quite a distance, before the suffocating walls peeled away as they entered yet another cavern. The path before them continued forwards, though, as a thin strip of stone spanning an empty void. By the entrance was a natural balcony, where they had stopped to rest briefly before traversing the perilous gap. Arizodal was busy kneading his claws on the rock, each clinch causing the stone to wretchedly rasp, as if the earth itself were whimpering with pain from his presence inside it. "Once we gain the bridge, it is important to move with haste and stealth," the beast grunted. The unicorn peered over the edge, a cold breeze wafting up from below to tickle the fur on his face. Spindly, crooked towers of rock held the crumbling bridge on high,